Spread the word, everybody. If you have friends or family that couldn't make it to any of the championship events this weekend, be sure to let them know that they can watch all of our broadcasts live and archived on our website at www.socalcollegesports.com or our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. And if you have a shout-out you'd like to get on the air for one of your favorite teams or players, be sure to tweet that to us at SoCal College SPO. That's S-P-O. Back in a moment.
And we welcome you back to Mount San Antonio College as we move forward. Game number 2 of 4 on the day. Here in the winners bracket, Palomar College will play host to Sierra College, the winners of games 3 and 4 last night. Jeff Stoynoff and the entire SoCal College sports team back here with you, joined by head coach Maggie White. And Maggie, thanks so much for sitting in once again. Really excited and very happy to have you back. And Palomar appears to be a juggernaut among serious championship hopefuls here, not the least of which is the team we just saw, Mount San Antonio College, who made a very strong statement, but 21 wins in a row, 39-3 overall, and what do you do to stop the comments?
Yeah, let's
what
just
can
say
you do?
Palomar is a team to beat.
Yeah.
How's that? and you know, if you're Sierra, though, it's a good situation to get through Palomar right now. If you win this game, you got to beat them anyway to win.
Yep.
And if you win this game, then it only gets easier from there.
Yeah.
I do think that Palomar is definitely the strongest. They look as though they're the strongest team here, and so that part is exciting.
Well, in this format, how quickly things can change. Bouncing ball to second, and Delosier is retired as Zamora throws her out at first. So one up for one down. Alicia Garcia back in the circle for Palomar. And she will face Delosier, followed by Virgie Rebello and Tony Whipke, who had a home run last night in the victory over Cypress for Sierra College. Here in the top of the first, we'll start to set the offense for you. And yeah, I mean, this format is fascinating. I mean, Palomar's on a roll, but a loss here, and all of a sudden then they got to go back to work tonight just to stay alive. And it gets tougher and tougher. So you're always sort of walking a tightrope in this one, no matter how hot you are.
Right. You always want to get what we call the catbird seat, where you win your first 2 games, and then you kind of watch everybody else play before you have to play again.
Garcia rocks and fires, and Rebello out in front. A ball and a strike, the count on Rebello, who comes in, batting .311 on the season, 2 home runs, 22 runs batted in. We'll give you the numbers on Garcia momentarily. Garcia got the win in the first game last night over San Joaquin Delta. Shortened by the 8-run rule. It was an 8-0 win. Garcia, a record now of 26-0, an ERA of 0.83 in 134 and 2/3 innings. She's allowed 70 hits, walked 49, struck out 174. Called strike 3. Rebello down on strikes, 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Whipke.
That was a tough at-bat for Rebello right there. And, you know, it's, when things are close with 2 strikes, you have to protect, especially against a good pitcher like this.
Whipke with 6 home runs on the season, 35 runs batted in, a .379 hitter. I said she went deep yesterday in the victory. First pitch in there for a strike, and Garcia, not surprisingly, seems to be locating not just the rise ball, but the off-speed stuff as well here early on.
The off-speed is, to me, what makes her very tough.
Here's the 0-1 to Whipke. At the knees, quickly strike 2. Kylie Pignon in left field, McKenna Crawford in center, Sarah Fisher in right for Palomar. Shay Lane at third base, Allie Hewen at short, Jillian Zamora at second, Crystal Delorier at first. Here's the 0-2 to Whipke. Tried to hold up, and she did. A ball and 2 strikes. Bryn Miller behind the plate, and Garcia in the circle for the Comets, who come in winners of 21 in a row. Sierra, for their part, outstanding as well, of course, 38-7 on the season. And that one roped foul.
And Sierra plays in the, arguably, the toughest conference in the North, which is the Big 8, which has 9 schools in it. And they've been talking about getting another team and splitting the conference. They've been talking about other conferences hosting. It's such a large conference, it's hard to divide it up.
In on the hands, and a pop over to Shay Lane, and an easy first inning for Garcia and the Comets. We're through half an inning, no score. Sierra and Palomar just getting started. It's the 3C2A Softball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the first coming up, Palomar and Sierra. The winner here is done for the day and advances to our first game tomorrow against Mount San Antonio College, who won their first 2 games. Underway with leadoff hitter Kiana Villanueva, who's the designated player today. She'll be followed by Sarah Fisher and Alicia Garcia. Interesting that both these teams have the pitcher in the lineup as well.
And in the heart of the lineup, if you look at Sierra's stats, their pitcher is their top hitter for batting average.
Here's the pitch to Villanueva in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, we've certainly sung the praises of Alicia Garcia, and Amarissa Medina certainly deserves similar treatment. We talked a little bit about her ability at the plate, but she's had a terrific year in the circle as well.
Oh yeah, she's done a great job here. Kind of when I watched yesterday, I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't really, I saw some stats that looked a little amazing, but I didn't really know until I saw yesterday.
Yeah, 26-3 on the season with an ERA of 1.38.
Right.
A ball and 2 strikes.
That would be nice.
Rise ball, and it's fouled off by Villanueva. Yeah, 26-3, the ERA 1.38, and in arguably the deepest and toughest conference in the North. So not exactly skating through an easy conference schedule.
Oh, no, not at all. Every game, you have to be on every day.
For Amarissa Medina. Nia Vallejos in left, Danny Tashi in center, McKenna Anderson in right for the Wolverines. And that one tails inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Villanueva. Hannah Slate at third, Virgie Rubello at second, Lexi DeLozer at first, Julia Cummings at first, Tony Whipkey behind the plate, and Amarissa Medina in the circle again for the Wolverines. Here's the 2-2. Villanueva takes strike 3. So Villanueva down on strikes. And here comes Fisher, Player of the Year.
That's uncharacteristic. She has 8 strikeouts in 103 at-bats. Usually leadoff hitters are tough to get out, so that was a surprising looking strike 3.
Well, after the game yesterday, Fisher's average went up to 596. Swings at the first pitch, ropes it into right center. This is going to roll all the way to the wall. Fisher around first, and she will slide in with a double. Sarah Fisher just continues to crush the ball. She's 3 for 3 with a walk now on the weekend.
These numbers are unreal. Like, when I saw it, I had to look at it again. 15 home runs. She's batting second, hitting 596 on the year. Not in the tournament, on the year. She's batting 1,000 in the tournament.
600, here she comes. She might be there.
I think it's a lot of
getting close. Alicia Garcia.
Slugging percentage 1.055.
Will stand in. Here's the pitch from Medina. In there for a strike. Bryn Miller waits on deck.
Yeah, I still can't believe these numbers. But
Garcia batting .424, a home run, 32 runs RBI, 32
no
RBIs.
No slouch.
Talking with Jesse Steinberg yesterday in the broadcast, and we're about 7 or 8 names down the lineup for Palomar, and said I haven't called an average less than 400 yet on this team, and you're talking about about the 8th hitter or so.
Right.
You're still up there.
Yes, 359 is the 8th hitter.
Yeah, I mean it's just crazy that up and down the lineup and the pressure that you feel ultimately. Facing a lineup like this, and that's the challenge for Medina today. She's got 1 out and a runner at second, but an 0-2 count on Garcia. Here she goes.
That's in there.
Sinking line drive in for a base hit. Fisher had to hold at second to make sure that ball came down. Good job, meanwhile, by Anderson, able to more or less trap that ball and at least keep it in front of her. That saved a run for the time being. It was a risky play by Anderson, but able to take it on the short hop, hold Garcia to a single, and it's runners at the corners with 1 out, and Bryn Miller coming to the plate. So far, Coach, they've had some success going the opposite way with the pitches of Medina.
Yes. Well, that was an 0-2 pitch, low and away, which is she hit her target. Garcia just went down and got it.
First pitch to Miller at the knees, called strike 1.
As a pitcher, that's a very frustrating thing. You throw the ball, you pitch it right, goes to the right spot, and they find a way to chink one in there. Because it wasn't hit hard. It was just contact and went with it.
Bryn Miller batting .424. 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Medina ready. Into the wind. High fly ball, shallow center, backing up and off the glove of Delosier. She's battling the son, Fisher, going to slide home with the first run of the game. We'll wait and see how it's scored as Delosier tries to make the over-the-shoulder catch on that one. And I think as she was looking back, might have been an issue with the sun. She gets the error. So the run for Fisher gives the Comets an early 1-0 lead, still 2 on, only 1 out, and Crystal Delorier coming to the plate.
I think that's a tough error given to Delosier. She had to go a long way to make that play. And when I read the book, I read it as routine and ordinary effort.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was routine and ordinary, but again, it doesn't really matter what we think because we're not the official scorers. I've actually done official scoring for the NC2A.
Yeah.
When Humboldt State has hosted some regional games, I've done official scoring. I've done what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I much rather would be in this position of, not having to make that call.
I like to be liked too much. I'd give everybody a hit.
Oh, well, that you don't like, the pitcher doesn't like you.
Yeah, then the pitcher.
That actually happened to me.
That's
I
a terrible
had
job
the
for me.
pitcher's mom breathing down my neck because I gave a hit.
It's true. Talk about your thankless job.
Oh, yes, it is. You will never. Yeah, I love this part of it much more than the official scorer part.
First pitch to Delorier is in there for a strike. Well, that's a second pitch. It's a ball and a strike now on Crystal Delorier. A .422 batter on the season, 2 home runs, 32 runs batted in. 2 on, only 1 out. Some trouble for Amarisa Medina and the Wolverines right away here in the bottom of the first. Off-speed pitch into beauty.
Great pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
If Medina can throw that pitch with that much accuracy, she has a chance to keep Sierra in this game.
Well, the Wolverines have already faced a measure of adversity here this weekend. They were trailing heading into the bottom of the 6th last night against Cypress, driven deep to left, going, gone. Delorier, a 3-run shot, and it's 4-0. Palomar picking up right where they left off last night. Just to finish the point, they were down to Cypress, the defending champions, heading into the bottom of the 6th. They put a 3 spot on the board, got themselves back into the lead, and closed it out as we take a look at the replay. And Delorier just gets into this one, and that was a no-doubter over the wall in left center.
It really was.
That's 4 on the board for Palomar, and so Sierra is going to have to once again come from behind. They've got a little more time this time, but Palomar, an 8-0 win last night by virtue of the 8-run rule. They were done in the 5th inning, and now they jump on a very good Sierra team. 4-0 here in the first, and they're still batting with Kylie Pignon coming to the plate.
It's important for Sierra right now to keep competing. And when something like this happens in the first inning, sometimes it can be demoralizing and the team can kind of get down, but realize there is still a lot of game left.
Hit hard, another base hit. This could be trouble at first base. The throw is a little high, and it just does pull Cummings off the bag, and that allows Pignon to make it into first with a base hit. Boy, Pignon hit that right on the button, right to Anderson, and Anderson made a good play. Came up with that clean, but a little too much on the throw.
Yeah, you called base hit a little too early,
And that's
I might add,
I'm
because she
used to
almost made that play, and I'm thinking, maybe.
I'm not used to the 9-3 putout. I got to get
Yes.
used to that one.
9-3 happens here in
All right.
softball. It really does. It's a thing. And with a right-handed batter, I like to scoop my right fielder in just as a chance to make that, because the chance of the ball going over her head is less than going in front of her.
Allie Hewen, the batter. First pitch in there for a strike. Well, here's the scary thought. I feel like with the exception of the ball that was out over the plate that Delorier took deep, some pretty good location from Medina in this first inning in terms of getting ahead of the hitters and still having a mighty struggle. Bunted back toward the circle. Medina able to get out at first, and now the throw across. And they had Pignon at third, the throw beater, but applying the tag, Slate couldn't quite keep the handle, and that allows Pignon to make it safely to third.
That is very frustrating as a coach because you actually work on that play a lot in practice. You want to make sure that the runner on first on a sacrifice bunt is not going to try to take third on you. And you don't see it very often because most teams have that play down. And they did it. They ran it right. And sure enough, you know, it's just the last thing. It's kind of like you're running the right route in football, and you make the play, and then the receiver doesn't catch the ball.
Yep.
Quarterback made a perfect throw. They're in the end zone. The receiver drops it. That's exactly what just happened there. It's frustrating as a coach because everything you work on worked.
So Medina still one out to get. That one inside. A ball and a strike the count on McKenna Crawford. You said it, Crawford, a .359 batter on the season. No home runs, 15 runs batted in.
359 would be
.359.
Star,
not terrible in the 8
teams,
spot.
Yeah.
Tried to hold up, looked like she went around, and she did. A ball and 2 strikes. The count now on Crawford. 8th player to bat in the inning for the Comets. If my memory serves, I'd have to look at the box score, but I believe this is 3 straight 4-run innings now for the Comets going back to.
Oh.
They scored 4 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and then they just pick up right where they left off, a 4 spot here in the 1st.
Right.
In their game today.
That's pretty incredible. If you can come into this venue where, you know, every pitcher's pretty strong. You can come in and make waves like this.
Yeah. A 26-3 pitcher on the mound, and they have 4 hits. They've been helped by a couple of errors. Lifted to left. Vallejos over near the line and has it to retire the side. 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 1. Palomar with the quick start. They lead at 4-0 in the 3CCAA Softball Championships Day 2 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the 2nd inning. Amarissa Medina, Hannah Slate, McKenna Anderson due up for Sierra College. Palomar with the 4-0 lead, thanks in large part to the 3-run home run by Crystal Delorier. And the Comets continue to roll. Can the Wolverines upset the apple cart here? Get themselves back into it. Go to work against Alicia Garcia. Here's the first pitch to Medina. Just inside. Medina is a hitter, batting .419. 5 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Garcia ready. Way out in front. Great breaking ball from Garcia.
The Sierra hitters are completely off balance in the last 2 innings. It doesn't mean they can't adjust or that they won't adjust.
Again, out in front. The off-speed continues to create problems for the Sierra hitters.
Garcia does a really good job of hiding that pitch. That's really the key. I'm really surprised at how deep the right and center fielders are. They're right on the edge of the track.
Medina pops this one up. Foul territory over near the Sierra dugout, and it's out of play. So
I feel
Medina's
like if it's hit over their head, it's going to go over the fence.
Yeah, very deep is McKenna Crawford in center field.
Actually, the right fielder to me is deep just because the right-handed batter.
Yeah. Well, Medina's got good power, 5 home runs, but I think, yeah, to your point, it's going to be hard to get the ball over your head when you're already at the fence.
Yeah, if it's over your head, then it's over your head.
Medina down on strikes. Looked like Garcia did a good job there going to the rise ball on 2 strikes.
She just set her up. It was like the way you teach setup in pitch calling right there. Just change up, rise ball. Done.
Well executed. Hannah Slate will be the batter. She's batting .306. 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. And one bounces in. A ball and no strikes on Slate. 4 up, 4 down for Garcia.
And Sierra just has to keep pounding. This is a hard deal when you're down 4 runs.
Well, they got Cypress down 3 runs in the first couple of innings, and Cypress came back on them, had a big inning to take a 4-3 lead. And we mentioned the Wolverines with a great job late in that game, staring defeat in the face.
Scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, for the 7-4 win, I believe, if that's right. Yep.
Yes, so they were down 4-3, and they scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th, and they just had 3 more outs. And a lot of that was Cypress didn't make a play on the bunt.
2-1 to Slate. And that one chopped foul.
Coach Brown now almost thought about going after that and then realized, wait, I don't have to field this. It might hurt my hand. I always worry about, my ring.
Yeah.
Fielding over there. I used to just try to stick my hand out. Now I don't even.
You can't take the fielding fundamentals out of you, I guess.
No, it's just a reaction. Yeah. I got hit pretty hard about 5 years ago. And actually ended up on workman's comp and a doctor. I mean, like, we hope we could save your leg kind of thing.
Man.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's dangerous.
Yeah,
and,
it's a very dangerous spot, especially.
It's just a dangerous game right now with these bats.
If you're at if you're in the painted area, you're right on top. Called strike 3. 3 strikeouts already for Garcia.
Make an offering at that one.
McKenna Anderson will be the batter. Anderson batting from the left side.
417. It's a tough average there.
2 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Far and away the leader in stolen bases on the team with 28 steals. The next highest is 11. So Anderson, if you're looking for maybe a runner to get on with 2 outs, potentially make something happen, could be McKenna Anderson. But right now you get the feeling Sierra would settle for a base runner in any way, shape, or form.
Settle for a hit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you run yourself out when you're down 4, but it is early.
A ball and a strike. Yeah, I've already got the Wolverines taking all kinds of gambles up here, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's true.
Your gambling decreases greatly when you're down 4.
Yeah.
Against a team like this, you just have to hope for the beginning.
Bunted back toward the circle. Nice hop for Garcia, and she'll go to first to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down again. We head to the bottom of the 2nd. The Comets with a 4-0 lead over Sierra on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Head to the bottom of the 2nd. Jillian Zamora will lead things off, and then back to the top of the order with Kiana Villanueva And Sarah Fisher to up third this inning. And for Amarissa Medina, back to the circle and needs to keep the Palomar Comets within eyesight if possible here. Already down 4-0.
If you're Medina, you want to get Fisher up to bat with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Goes to work on Zamora. First pitch in there for a strike.
That's what you want. I'm not sure if that's what you get, but that's what you want.
Zamora batting .343 on the season. No home runs, 22 runs batted in. The 0-1 from Medina. Zamora takes that in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Quickly on Jillian Zamora. And of course, we have action over at Citrus College as well. College of San Mateo in action, and they trail it in the bottom of the second to Ohlone College, 1-0.
Oh.
So Ohlone, somewhat of a Cinderella story making it here, and had the lead late against the host team, Mount San Antonio College, before a 2-run home run. Put the Mounties over the top in a 2-1 victory, but now they get San Mateo, and they've got the early lead.
Ohlone played great against the Mount Sac yesterday, I thought. They just had that one miscue.
Yeah, and that's off of Mount San Antonio College's performance today. Even that much more impressive, as the Mounties were very impressive today in a 10-3 win earlier against El Camino College.
Right. So that, you know, I felt like Ohlone had a good game plan against Mount Sac, and I played them this year. I thought they were the best team we played. And we played Sierra, and we played San Mateo, we played Ohlone.
Yeah.
And of all the teams we played, I mean, we walked out of there looking at each other. My assistant, Teresa Stavert, and I, we were, is that the best team we've played? And she goes, yeah, by far.
Well, how about San Mateo comes here, you know, playing very well, top-ranked team in the state, and it just shows you the urgency of this format. They lose a tight one yesterday, and now they're trailing it. Listen, they don't take care of business in that game over at Citrus right now.
They're done.
They're done. Their season's over. And, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And of course, we have it for you on SoCal College Sports. Just go to our site, www.socalcollegesports. You can find all the games here of championship weekend. In on the hands, a one-hopper over to first. Cummings will take it herself.
And in this format, when we played in this format, just, you know, when you're the Cinderella team, as we were when we got in, just winning a game at this tournament is a big deal.
Yep.
We've had very few teams from our conference win games here, and you know, it happens every once in a while. So the fact that we were able to win a game, we lost our first against Cypress, and we won the second, and then that was a big deal. And so I know Ohlone just getting that experience of winning down here instead of just being happy to be here.
Yeah.
So there's that.
If they can get that one, then they come back here and play tonight.
Right.
The loser
you
of this one.
Get that. And then when you're building for next year too, now you're not just happy to be here anymore. You're now expecting to win, and that's what you need to build in your program.
Yeah, because as you look at this event, historically bunted back toward the circle, and it's Medina with time. Over to Delosier covering.
So the job is done. We got Fisher up with 2 outs and nobody on. So perfect.
Fisher, who doubled her first time up on the first pitch, a rocket into right center.
Who's batting 1,000 in the tournament and 596 overall on the season.
Yeah, up from 596. She was 596.
Yeah, she was 596 before her double to lead off. Not
first
fooled.
pitch again.
Change up, not fooled.
And I think, and this is not something I can say officially, but I think for at least the 3rd time in 4 hits, Sarah Fisher swung at the first pitch and got good contact and got a base hit. So she is, I think she's a first ball hitter. And
right, and
you know, from a coaching standpoint, it's,
yeah.
You know, what are the advantages of that? What, you know, when you see that?
Well, when you're pitching, you throw off speed, or
Yeah.
you throw, and she did.
Yeah.
So I think that Sierra, you know, called the right pitch, and she just wasn't fazed by it. She's just that good of a hitter. I know she was expecting it, which I don't know if I'd be sitting on the change.
Yeah, it looks like she didn't quite get all of it, but what a great job, I think, staying back a little bit, keeping the weight back a little bit, and able to just kind of redirect that one out into right center field for a base hit. The 2-out single brings up Alicia Garcia, who singled her first time up, and it can get dangerous in a hurry here. A runner at first, 2 down, a 1-0 count on Garcia. Straight back to the screen. Good cut from Garcia.
Fisher has 11 stolen bases. I'm kidding. No, she doesn't. She has 9. She has 11 sacrifices.
Well, we talked about Sierra with the 4-0 lead, 4-0 deficit. You don't really want to run, but perhaps Palomar is sort of on the other end of that.
Right.
They have
With
the
2
luxury
outs.
of maybe
Yeah, with 2 outs, I'd be running.
taking a chance.
Oh, on a
That one
changeup, that
bounces
would have
in.
been perfect.
2 balls and a strike. The count now on Garcia. Bryn Miller in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you can afford to gamble when you have a 4-run lead. Kind of like playing cards. You got a large chip stack. You gamble with them.
There you go. Oh, Mike Cepeda would have loved that reference right there. He is disappointed over at Citrus that he didn't get in on that one. The only problem for you is it would have been about a 5-minute discussion of poker then. I think.
Oh well,
he would have gone.
I would not have gone 5 minutes. Maybe he would have talked for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think I have 5 minutes worth of anything to say about it.
Well, I gotta
except
say
that I'm bad at it.
In my limited knowledge of it, I believe your analogy was on point, though.
It is on point.
Yeah, that's
Chip bullies.
yeah. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the called strike on Garcia.
You can afford to, make more bets and see what happens. Hope for the cards.
Well,
Right?
so
Am I
far,
right?
the cards have been pretty good for Palomar so far this
Yes,
weekend.
they have.
They're picking up some hands. Here's the 3-2. Ripped, but foul.
Out of here, but foul.
She gave that one a ride.
Now with a full count, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pitch Medina comes back with.
Well, in the middle of this order, it's one good hitter after another, and if you're Garcia, I think you're more than happy to just try and keep the inning alive. A base hit here, and you got another good hitter to follow you. And
For sure.
You don't have to feel the pressure like I need to do all of this myself or I need to make something big happen. It's like just get another bat up there, we're good.
Running.
And there's the walk. So after 2 were out, a single from Fisher and a walk to Garcia, and now it's 2 on, and Bryn Miller coming to the plate.
Another 424. Popped one up last time to the second baseman. She had to go a ways for it. I thought it was I gave it an error. I thought it was kind of
Delosier having to track that one down in shallow center. And
thought it was a tough call, but nevertheless, probably should have been caught when you get to this game at this level. Those are the plays you need to make.
Medina ready, into the wind, low and away.
But the point is, Medina did beat Miller on her last at-bat, even though it landed or whatever. From a pitching standpoint, she got what she wanted.
Kind of a jam shot out there into center field. Off-speed pitch. High and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
The way she delivered that pitch, it felt like it was easy to read the changeup. Normally, you don't want them to know you're throwing it.
Still in search of an easy inning against Palomar after 2 were out. Now 2 are on, and it's 2-0 to Bryn Miller. Medina ready. Inside. Tried the rise ball and missed. Called that a strike on the inside corner. Okay, 2 balls and a strike. So that's a big call, potentially, for Sierra.
Well, it's nice to be 2-1 and not 3-0.
Absolutely. Not with Delorier, who just went downtown her last time up, waiting on deck. That's high and inside.
The 3-1 in this situation is tough.
How about the pressure if you're in the circle right now and you're Medina and you're 3-1 and the player waiting on deck just took you deep last time they were up and you're thinking about maybe facing them with the bases loaded.
The only thing you're happy about is that you have 2 outs.
Here's the 3-1. Called strike 2.
Last inning they struggled getting it out.
And I think Miller had the bat on the shoulder there. I think she was didn't get one she liked there, but
see, in that situation, I would have sat on the pitch I want and just go harder. You can miss it. You just swing as hard as you can.
Full count, absolutely. To Miller, here's the pitch. In on the hands.
Again.
Shallow right, coming on and making the catches. McKenna Anderson, nice job by Anderson. Coming in to retire the side. The Comets threaten, but no runs across. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 left on base. We're through 2. Palomar on top of Sierra, 4-0 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. head to the top of the third, 4-0. Palomar on top of Sierra. They're in the top of the third over at Citrus College, and now San Mateo with a 4-1 lead over Ohlone, a grand slam home run in the bottom of the second. And San Mateo answers back big time, and they lead it now as they head to the third.
That's a big hit right there. You can grand slam when you're down 1-0. Changes everything.
It'll be Emily Smith, Danny Tashi, and Julia Cummings. The bottom of the order due up against Alicia Garcia, and Garcia gets a quick strike on Emily Smith.
Emily Smith in the 7th spot, hitting .404. Not bad.
At the DP position, yeah, there's a little offense at the bottom of the order, and a swing and a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes quickly on Garcia. Garcia 6 up, 6 down through 2 innings with 3 strikeouts. She did not give up a hit in the victory last night over San Joaquin Delta, so she's working on 7 innings now of no-hit ball. This weekend, high heat, Smith down on strikes. Well, this may be, start thinking about potential players of the weekend, teams that will make the all-tournament type teams, and obviously a couple of good candidates here to start out with, but...
Are you one of the voting members of the all-tournament team committee?
I am not.
You're not?
I could just speculate, which is actually even better.
Well, I almost feel like
the pressure of the real call. Bunted in front of home plate. It's a fair ball, but Tashi is retired.
Too close to home plate there to get it. You have to push it out a little bit.
Yeah, Bryn Miller out quickly. Miller made a good play or two, I know, getting out quickly from behind home plate in the victory yesterday, too. Fields the position very well. And that'll bring up Cummings. Anyway, you were starting to say something about voting for the
well, they should let media do it, because sometimes, like for me, the coaches could have a bias. I mean, I'm not saying I'm biased, but I've seen the North teams play, and I haven't seen the, and when you get the media involved, they, of course, you might have some bias as well, but it's easier. The less you have of that, the better it is.
0-1 the count, and that ball sails high and wide. A ball and a strike now on Julia Cummings. Cummings, a .294 hitter, no home runs, 16 runs batted in. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. And now Garcia, I think, starting to mix in more fastball, rise ball.
Yes.
Continuing to sort of change it up on the Wolverines.
Yes, and when you have 9 hitters, they're generally pretty good to hit rise balls too. Because
trying once again, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They don't generally have the power, and so the risk, it's not as risky against a 9 hitter. You throw it to a 4 hitter and you kind of miss a little bit, it's leaving the yard.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And so against a 9 hitter, you can risk a little more.
A little bit low. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cummings. Wolverines still looking for their first base runner as they bat here in the top of the third.
I felt like that one was too close to take.
Here's the payoff pitch. Line back up the middle, a base hit. Cummings with the base hit, and that is the first hit off of Garcia this weekend. It comes with 2 outs here in her 8th inning of work.
Well, that's pretty good.
I believe, that's unofficial, but I'm pretty sure it was no hits yesterday.
It was.
For the Mustangs, so, yeah.
Now, I think what may have happened, Cummings a .294 hitter, Garcia, sometimes pitchers have a tendency to kind of, I guess, underestimate or take a little bit off of just trying not to make sure they walk them.
Swinging, lined into center, another base hit. So Delosier with a 2-out single, and now it's runners at first and second, 2 down. Well, I imagine if you're Garcia in that situation, you got 2 outs, bases empty, a hitter that doesn't have a lot of power, at least statistically, that you're battling. I would think the greatest sin you can make there is walking her. You gotta come right after that. Yeah, you have to throw one. And
you have to throw it in there. And as a 9, I hit 9 at Division II for 2 years, and I know what they're doing. Like, they definitely don't want to walk you or hit you, and so you know the pitch is coming in there. You have to kind of be ready for that.
Virgie Rebello at the plate, first pitch in there for a strike. Wolverines trying to get a 2-out rally going. Back-to-back base hits, and Robella, who struck out her first time up, at the plate.
I think she saw 2 changeups in a row that she swung at before they crossed the plate.
Lifts this one to left, playable for Pinon, who has it to retire the side. Wolverines threaten, but no runs across. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. Comets continuing to lead the Wolverines 4-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the third will be Delorier, Pinon, and Hewen coming up for Palomar. They lead it 4-0. Delorier, the 3-run home run in the first inning, staking the Comets to the 4-0 lead that they're sitting on right now. First pitch from Medina. Delorier takes that one low, a ball and no strikes.
Medina's most likely going to pitch cautiously to Delorier after what we just saw. Last inning, or her last at-bat, hitting the no-doubter. Somebody's lost some cord here.
I'll be all right.
Of course you will.
There we go. I got Matt Henson help me out. 2 balls and no strikes.
The master of failure recovery. That's what it's all about, right?
Delorier ahead in the count now. Medina looks in and gets the sign. Quick check and we're ready to go. Here's the 2-0. Popped up. Slate now called off by Medina, and Medina will take it.
In my opinion, Medina should not be the one making that play. I would say the third baseman should have come in and called her out.
Yeah, we saw that in our first game, miscommunication between third base and pitcher, and it's third baseman generally has the call right there.
The pitcher has a lot to do.
Yeah.
Don't make her go do that unless it's in that circle. Then she can make that play. Anything out of the circle is out of bounds. Somebody has to get over there and make a play. I tell the third baseman, what else do you have to do? Go make that play.
Pinon swings at the first pitch and drops it in front of Vallejos for a base hit. So Pinon, 2 for 2. Another couple of hits for Kylie. And that'll bring up Allie Hewen. A successful sacrifice last time up for Hewen.
I thought Vallejos had a good chance of making that play. It would have been a great play.
She was coming on, but couldn't quite get there.
She had a beat on it, but you're right. She couldn't quite.
Didn't want to lay out for that one and try and make the diving catch.
I don't know if because you want to make sure you keep it in front of you, or else they get extra bases. So I think she played it smart.
Hewen had a cut and fouled it back. No balls and a strike.
It's okay to dive if you can afford it. But risk versus reward. Are you going to make the play or are you not? You have to weigh all that out while the ball's in the air, while you're moving very quickly. You have to make that decision.
No balls and a strike on Hewen. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. McKenna Crawford waits on deck.
Hewen bunted last time. Now down 0-2, unlikely she will again.
Yeah, Pinon 5 stolen bases on the season. Not much of a threat to go. But did try to go from first to third on the sacrifice last time. Whipkey thought about a snap throw, but no throw coming. A ball and 2 strikes now the count on Hewen.
The wind's starting to come up a little bit.
I can't decide whether to have my coat on or not.
Right.
It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now on Hewen.
I actually went back to the hotel and got my like quilted puffy Columbia jacket for tonight.
That is a no doubter. You're going to need that tonight.
Well, I don't know if there's a no doubter, but I went and got it. As soon as I got it, the sun came out though.
2-2 to Hewen inside. Matt Henson just continues to take care of me. That's we're a tight knit team here. SoCalCollegeSports.com. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On Hewen, who was down no balls and 2 strikes at one point. Good job by Hewen fighting back.
I think Matt Hanson's having too much fun with us.
Here's the payoff. Sky high, shallow left. Rebello moving back and makes the catch. Nice job by Virgie Rebello. Taking care of that one from Hewen. 2 down. Pignon still at first, and McKenna Crawford coming to the plate.
That was a great play by Rebello there. Not easy. She's battling the sun a little bit. She had to go a long way for it.
Well, you know, it's so much, too, in a play like that. It seems like it's about the feet. Rebello gets there quickly and is able to take that not so much on the move. And it just makes that play a lot easier. I think for Rebello, and a terrific job fielding at the shortstop position. Here's the first pitch to Crawford. Squirts away from Whipke. That'll move the runner to second.
And that should be scored a pass ball.
I'm ready to call that a pass ball.
Yes, and I'm the last one to ever say it's a pass ball. But that was a pass ball.
All right. Never say never.
Right. I'm the last one to say it is. Usually.
Crawford fly to left.
If it bounces at all, I give it a wild pitch.
In there for a strike. A ball and a strike, the count. Jillian Zamora would bat next if Crawford can keep it alive here in the bottom of the third. 1-1 pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. On Crawford.
Looks like Aloni got a run in the top of the third. It's now 4-2. San Mateo over at Citrus
Trying
College.
to chip away.
Yeah. Never know. Just got to stay in it.
Well, we already have one matchup that'll have some familiarity to it between the 2 teams. Coming up later today, it'll be Cypress and El Camino. Getting back together, 2 teams from the south, and a long way to go here, but we have the potential for a Titanic North-only matchup, potentially, if San Mateo holds on. If these scores hold up, you'd be talking about Sierra and San Mateo, a couple of programs that know each other very well.
Yes, they do. They play each other every year. They're cross-conference, but they play each other every year.
2-2. Now a 3-2 as that breaking ball misses outside. So another full count. The Comet's done a good job working some deep counts. On Medina. The wind and the pitch. Called, strike 3. Medina gets the strikeout. The Comets are gone in the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base. We're through 3 complete, and Palomar maintains the 4-0 lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's the 3C2A Softball Championships. 3, 4, 5 due up for Sierra College here in the 4th against Alicia Garcia. It'll be Tony Whipke followed by Marissa Medina and Hannah Slate as the Wolverines try to cut into this 4-0 deficit. Finally got a little something going last inning with a couple of base hits, threatening before Garcia was able to get out of the jam, getting Rebello to fly out to end the inning.
Well, just getting the base hit was the first step because nobody had done that off Garcia in this tournament yet. So now it's like, okay, guys, we got a couple base hits. Now let's make something happen.
Whipke got the weekend started in the right direction for Sierra with a 2-run bomb in the first inning last night, giving them a 2-0 lead. Eventually they would push it to 3-0 before Cypress came back, but Sierra able to get the win.
Sierra had a great game last night.
That one is grounded into the dugout over there on the Palomar side. 2 balls and a strike.
I don't know if you saw the way Coach Brownell moved on that. It looks as though she's possibly fouled off a few her way in the past.
And interesting,
she's on her toes over there.
Darcy Brownell, the coach of the year in the North. San Mateo has the fantastic season. Of course, Sierra does too. But San Mateo came in #1, but it's Darcy Brownell for Sierra with another tremendous job. This is a program that won the championship in 2014, so championship pedigree here to be sure.
Yes.
But Darcy Brownell, another coach of the year this year, so congratulations to her as well. And just a great job again with the Sierra College program.
She does so much more with just Sierra College and softball, but she does so much for our Coaches Association. She's the president. If she didn't really want to do it, she knew she needed to step up because nobody else was. And she really works so hard at making this experience great for the kids.
Driven to center. Crawford playing deep, has it on the track. She's right there. She actually just kind of slides directly to her right. She didn't even have to move back to a ball on the warning track.
The argument as to why you play there.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen.
Well, I do know that, in softball and baseball, that some outfielders are more comfortable moving in, and some are more comfortable or less uncomfortable moving back.
Right.
And maybe it's a little bit of how they prefer to play and what they would rather have the outfielders doing, coming in on balls or moving back.
It might be a little bit of that. It's more about where your coaches are putting you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. Like, let's see, she's actually counting her steps to the fence and then walking in, which is smart.
And when fouled back to the screen, it's quickly 0-2 on Marissa Medina. She went down on strikes her first time up.
Quickly 0-2.
Well, Garcia wastes little time.
About that.
Yes. Garcia seemingly always around the plate.
Yeah, I think you need to jump on Garcia early in the count, so she can't play with you as much.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, start mixing up speed and location, and it's very tough.
If you hit strike 1, you don't have to worry about strike 3.
Yeah.
I've probably said that 1,000 times to my players.
Off the end of the bat, cued towards second. Zamora with time, able to retire Medina. 4 out -- 2, and that'll bring up Hannah Slate. 2 down, bases empty. Slate struck out her first time up.
Yeah, she worked it to full count. Was looking like a tough at-bat, and then got a called strike 3. Questionable call, but nonetheless, I think you need to make an offering.
And the willingness
when
with
it's close, that count.
With 3 balls for Garcia to go back to the breaking ball, go back to the off-speed stuff. She has so much confidence. And I think there had Medina a little bit out in front, even on a 3-2 count.
Right.
No balls and a strike now, the count on Slate. That time went to the rise ball, but missed. A ball and a strike.
Whoops. Catcher and pitcher have trouble playing catch. Good thing nobody's on base. When you're base running, you always have to watch for that. Make sure they make that play.
And one chop back to the screen. A ball and 2 strikes.
Slate is way ahead of that. I would expect with the 1 ball, 2 strike count to see the off speed right now. Just based on the way she had her completely body turned toward Coach Brownell before that was.
went to the rise ball that time, and Slade able to fight it off. Interesting, as I watch most of the hitters, it looks like there's some scouting going on here. They're moving up in the box. They're pretty much at the front of the box. I think they've gotten a sense of what they're likely to deal with, and they're still having trouble getting the barrel of the bat on it.
Right. They're just trying to adjust.
One a little out in front is again in a terrific running catch by Lane on the sinking liner on the infield. So good fielding behind Garcia. Another 3-up, 3-down inning, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. Palomar still in front, 4-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the fourth. Zamora will lead things off, and then back to the top of the order with Villanueva and Fisher. Well, Coach, if I remember your sage advice before, it's try to get the 2 outs and at least face Fisher with the bases empty.
And that worked out last time.
A similar situation, indeed.
Uh-oh.
And not so much this time as Zamora is hit by the pitch. Inside with the rise ball, and Zamora will head down to first base, and here comes Villanueva, who's 0 for 2.
Safe to say that was not on purpose.
Number 11.
It looks as though her hand might have slipped. She was grabbing some dirt and trying to get a better grip, but the last thing you want to do is hit the 9 batter.
Villanueva tried to bunt her way on last time. And here comes Slade in at third. Cummings in at first, and it's down the first base line. The throw is low. Everybody's safe. Delosier can't handle it on the play. Zamora's going to head all the way to third.
And I don't know who they're going to give that air to, but it definitely...
I think it's got to be on Cummings at first. The throw was a little low.
Yeah, well, what happened was Cummings came up to throw it, and she didn't see her at the base yet. So
yeah, Delosier on the...
So she delayed and then made a throw, and that's a really hard thing to do.
So that's one of those ones where the scorebook will probably say E3, but a coach would tell you that maybe the timing of the play was a little off?
No, she has to make a better throw.
Okay.
I would still say it was on first base, but sometimes we don't practice that.
Yeah.
The practice the wait, then throw.
Yep.
Those are things I know that, when you don't work on those things, and then it happens, and now you have to adjust. She should have moved her feet again. Just reset the feet, and then go.
Yep. And, of course, the runners get down the line well, and Villanueva's got good speed. The clock is ticking on Cummings. Fisher, meanwhile, takes a cut, and there was maybe the best chance that anyone's had to get Fisher out this weekend, as that one falls behind the plate. But Whipke and Slate giving chase, and they can't quite catch up. So it's no balls and 2 strikes on Fisher, who is already 2 for 2, a single and a double.
She's got no outs with runners on first and third.
Medina's ready. Here's the 0-2.
Going.
And the runner breaks and steals second. So Villanueva alertly moves up.
I saw Coach Lacey give that signal after they hit her because it was 0-2 on the batter. That she gave it in the middle. I knew it was happening, actually. I'm always proud of myself when I can.
The signal to steal second?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So she's going to go.
1-2. Bounced in again. A good job by Whipke on a couple of low pitches to keep him in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fisher. Well, you're in an advantageous count here for Medina, so don't want to talk about first base being open. I think even in this situation, she doesn't want to walk her.
I wouldn't.
2-2. Fastball swung on, driven to center, playable for Tashi, who makes the catch. Zamora will tag and score easily. So for those of you scoring at home, Fisher's still batting 1,000 for the weekend, and she gets the sac fly to bring home Zamora from third. The lead is now 5-0. Runner at second, 1 down, and Alicia Garcia, will be the batter. She's 1 for 1, a single and a walk.
And 424 on the season. Pretty impressive numbers for the pitcher.
Yeah,
we
for
might add
4 innings of 2-hit ball in the circle to go along. Lifts this one deep left. Vallejos moving over near the line and makes the catch. So Garcia retired, got a little under that one. That one comes up a little short of the 190 sign down the left field line. 2 down. Runner at second. Bryn Miller, who's 0 for 2, will be the batter.
Miller hit a little chip shot to the right fielder last night. Right fielder came in and made a great play.
Well, I'll tell you, Medina, if she can get an out here and get out of this inning with 1 run, the way this inning started, that'd be a heck of a job.
I'd take it.
With Fisher, Garcia, and Miller coming up and runners at second and third, nobody out. She gets out with 1 run.
Getting through this murderous row.
That would be
of the lineup.
As good a job of pitching in any individual inning as we've seen. 1-0. Miller takes that one for a strike.
And it all started with hitting the batter on the first pitch of the at-bat.
I'm not going to say the first batter went really well, but after that,
yes,
Medina picked it up.
It just goes to show that if you don't give them those free tickets, make them earn it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Miller. Jam shot out to second. Delosier has it to retire the side. Great job by Medina busting it inside, but the Comets had a run. 1 run, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. We're through 4 complete. Palomar on top 5-0. You're watching the 2018 3C2A Softball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Anderson, Smith, and Tashi Dew up for Sierra as they bat here in the top of the 5th, now trailing at 5-0. Garcia to work, popped up on the left side. Hewen calling everybody off and has it. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
Out. what you want.
After the 2 hits allowed back-to-back, Garcia has settled down and set down 5 straight since. That'll bring up Emily Smith, a strikeout victim, leading off the 3rd.
Strikeout victim.
Well, there you go.
Now batting number 8, Wynn.
You know, when you talk for 2 games in a row, you got to mix it up a little bit. Some of them work and some of them don't.
Well, the key is
in there for a strike.
That you got the point across that she struck out last
Yeah,
time.
that's it.
That was the information you were trying to.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, technically speaking, she's a victim. Who wants to strike out?
Nobody. Nobody, not ever. It's a tough game, though.
Here's the 0-1, goes after the rise. Ball comes up empty, no balls, and 2 strikes quickly on Smith. And Tashi waits on deck.
Coach Brownell down there telling her to calm down. It's okay. I'm sure she's normally a more disciplined hitter than that.
Well, it's got to be tough and frustrating dealing with Garcia. She's pretty consistently around the plate, so you know, you go up there, and I imagine you want to swing because you see the ball kind of in the area. She's not the kind of pitcher where you want to sit back and see if she'll walk a few batters and maybe give you some base runners that way.
Right.
And in any event, she goes after another ball up in the zone there, a strikeout, and she is retired on strikes, and that'll bring up Tashi, 2 down, bases empty.
Tashi attempted to bunt last time, and it dropped right in front of the catcher.
And just in front of home plate, and a good play by Bryn Miller to get out there and retire her. First pitch, a little bit inside, a ball and no strikes.
I don't expect it again. Now she's in the far back part of the batter's box. As far back as you can be.
Garcia into the wind. Off-speed pitch, and it's fouled.
Coach Brownell felt bad.
And partial skate save by Darcy down there in the box. Got a foot on it, didn't get the full stop, but slowed it down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, since I got hit, I don't even bother. I just walk away.
I think that's the smart move.
It is now.
Here's the 1-1. Oh, speed up the game. They just put a glove on you guys and have
us make
you shag those balls when they come in that direction.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, like you said about the pitcher, you got a lot already to do down there.
Exactly.
You got to worry about all this other stuff.
I have to rework my contract.
About fielding the position too. Ball and 2 strikes on Tashi. Off speed outside.
Good waste. You don't want to throw a strike every time. You have to keep them guessing. That was a good waste pitch by Garcia.
2-2 the count. Tried to get her to chase the rise ball, but Tashi a good job laying off. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I think that's part of the advantage of being back in the box is you can see it coming. The advantage of being up in the box is you can hit it before it breaks.
Off speed.
Ball
4. So
close.
Tashi draws the walk. That's just the 2nd walk, I believe, of the weekend for Alicia Garcia, her first today. I believe she had 1
and that's
in the start yesterday.
You don't want to walk Tashi. You want to walk, you know, if you're going to give up a walk, you want to walk generally the 3-4 hitter.
A 2-out walk with the bases empty. First pitch pulled just foul by Cummings. Cummings had a base hit her last time up.
Yeah, Cummings broke up the no hits in the tournament.
Yeah.
For Garcia.
She had gone 7 2/3 up to that point without allowing a hit.
Yeah, and that's, in case you're wondering, pretty good with hitters that are hitting in the 400s.
Just inside. A ball and a strike now on Cummings.
That looked like a tough take. She's got her toes right on the edge.
Yeah, she's a little bit up in the box, obviously, and fastball that time.
I kind of call where she is kind of straight up. Like she's right. Her back foot is toward the back of home plate.
Yeah. Yeah, she's about even with the plate, and then front foot maybe a little bit in front. So she's not all the way up. But it's interesting to see the variety that some players are electing to still be back and some, so it's not a consistent up and down the lineup. Called strike 3. Cummings down on strikes. That'll do it for the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Alicia Garcia is cruising, and Palomar leads at 5-0. Underway. In the bottom of the 5th, Delorier at the plate, and the count now of a ball and a strike.
You almost missed a pitch there.
I think I did miss one, but
No, I
sorry,
only have one
we'll adjust
strike.
it.
I only have 1 strike.
So no balls and 1 strike, and now that one roped foul. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes on Delorier, who's 1 for 2. The big 3-run homer back in the 1st, and then popped back to the circle her last time up in the 3rd. Delorier with her 3rd home run of the season. That pulls her to 2nd on the team, but she's going to have a tough time catching Sarah Fisher, who's out there with 15. So I think she's going to have to settle for 2nd. Goes after the off-speed pitch. Delorier down on strikes. Nice job by Medina.
That's not Medina.
It's not Medina. It's true. It's a new pitcher. So let's check that for you.
Newsworthy.
It's Holly Brennan. Is the new pitcher taking over for Medina, who goes 4 innings and allows the 5 runs. So a good start, certainly, for Holly Brennan.
And the question is, where did they bring Brennan in? I doubt that they brought her into that position.
In the lineup.
You're right.
Okay. Well, we can check that, I believe, between innings, see if I can get a
We'll figure it out.
update. Brennan, the left-hander, will now work to Pignon, who's 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch in there for a strike.
Illegal pitch. Umpire called the illegal pitch.
Now, what does that mean in specifically?
Okay, it's going to go down as a ball. But he told her it has something to do with keeping her hands separate and then bringing them together. You have to pause for a second.
Before the pitch even happens,
yes.
Similar to a balk kind of thing.
Yes, except new rule this year. It used to be scored exactly like a balk, only where the runners on base get to advance. This year it's just an illegal pitch. You still get the ball on the batter, but the runners do not advance. So it's not as big of a punishment, I guess.
So when she puts the ball in the glove, there needs to be a slight hesitation before she goes into the windup?
No, she needs to have a hesitation before she puts the ball into the glove. So she can't, like right now she's taking the signal, stepping on. Okay, and now she has to have that pause. Now she can go.
Bunted in front of home plate, and it's fair. And the throw just in time to get Pignon. Nice job by Whipke to retire Pignon. 2 up, 2 down for Brennan here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Hewen. It's popped out and had a successful sacrifice in 2 trips. See if we can get you the numbers on Brennan. First pitch to Hewen, in there for a strike. Brennan making her 21st appearance, a record of 10-2, an ERA of 1.51 in 88 innings. She's allowed 79 hits, walked 12, struck out 22. Chopper to short. Rebello backs up and misplays it, and she'll have to just eat it and take the error.
As soon as you have to back up that many steps to field a ground ball, you're probably not going to make the play.
Yeah, needs to move up and take that one on the big hop instead.
Yes.
Has to wait 2 hops, and
right.
I don't know that she would have gotten Hewen, who gets down the line pretty good even on the second hop.
Had she charged it, she would have.
Yeah.
You're right. With the way she was backing up, she just didn't like. She did not like the hop she was going to get, so she was backing up on it.
Sierra has 4 errors in this game, and obviously for a team that's very successful, it's an uncharacteristic type of struggle in the field, and you wonder at some level how much of that is you're going to have some nerves playing against a team that you feel like you're going to need to be at your absolute best to beat.
Right.
Because it seems as though Sierra at times has been maybe a little rattled, maybe rushing a little bit on some things as well, just being aware of the importance of the game and the opponent.
Yeah, definitely out of character here. You don't see Sierra College and the number 4 under errors very often.
Off the end of the bat, Delosier at the edge, and she dropped it, but has a play at third, sweep, tag in time. So Delosier misplays the pop-up, but then alertly gets it to third to retire the side. I'm going to ask between innings for you to try and explain how that scored. But meanwhile, 5-0 after 5. Palomar maintains the lead. We're in the top of the 6th. 5-0 Palomar the lead over Sierra. Top of the order due up for the Wolverines. Meanwhile, over at Citrus College, San Mateo, a 5-3 lead as Ohlone College bats in the top of the 6th. Winner of that game trying to stay alive. The loser of that one sees their 2018 season come to a close. Delosier at the top of the order due up first. And meanwhile, we have a new pitcher. And I believe, could be wrong, but this might be Allie Hewen. Gonna check that for you very quickly. And it is. So Hewen on to pitch. And she has been outstanding this season in 40 2/3 innings pitched. she has not allowed an earned run, an ERA of 0. Just 8 hits and 10 walks in 40 2/3 innings. And the rise ball in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. She'll come in and try and lock it down here for Palomar. Garcia, another 5 innings. This time allows 2 hits and no runs. She has been lights out this weekend, and now Hewen will try to shut it down. That one fouled off by Delosier, who's 1 for 2. Grounded to second and singled in 2 trips.
I'm still trying to figure out how they scored the last hit of the last inning because there's no error or hit was put on the board. I guess they gave it a fielder's choice, but I don't think that was much of a choice. Again, remember what I talked about earlier, when you're the official scorer, it doesn't matter what the naysayers say.
Just own it.
Well, I could still disagree.
Here's the 3-2 and a walk. So Hewen walks Delosier to start the 6th inning.
No outs, riding safely on first.
And I'm a little surprised that they're bringing in a pitcher that's only got 40 innings in this stage, even though she's been lights out. Of course, they could be using her just like this, like 1 or 2 innings, you know. And
She does have 5 saves on the season.
Right, so they're probably just bringing her in like a closer would be in Major League Baseball or something like that.
And if you're thinking about, you know, is it possible that they're thinking that if they play 4 days here,
Right.
that they'll want Garcia to go every game, conceivably? And if you can save her a couple of innings
Right.
at a time.
When you have a few runs to give.
That one way high, and a good job by Miller keeping this in front of you. Well, the question I have, Allie Hewen is a freshman, and if she returns next year, I wonder what the decision will be among the coaching staff. Of, you know, she's done a great job at shortstop, or do you move her? Does she become perhaps your primary pitcher? Of course, that's all the decision that will have to be made among the Palomar coaches in the offseason. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but it does make you wonder,
yes,
perhaps out loud, where they might ultimately end up utilizing her talents.
Well, if she's the best pitcher, she's the pitcher. If not, she's the shortstop.
Now you make it sound so easy, Coach.
It kind of is.
Off speed, and Rabello goes down on strikes. So that's the first strikeout. 1 on, 1 out, and Tony Whipke, who's 0 for 2, will stand in.
And Medina is on deck, so she is still in the game.
Well, you saw
Stay tuned.
the good velocity for Hewen, but that was a good off-speed pitch that had Rabello completely fooled. In there for a strike.
I was talking to Coach John Wismith from College of the Canyons last night. We were watching this game, and he said, well, wait till they bring in that shortstop to pitch. She's really good. He said she shut him down pretty bad.
High pop. And Lane calls off Hewen.
Which is exactly what you're supposed to do, except very seldom is your best shortstop also a pitcher.
Yeah.
And so,
well, I think you saw also sort of the infield know-how of Hewen, that when she was called off, she knew to get out of the way. Sometimes I think a pitcher's not as sure doing
the
that.
shortstop is in charge of the infield,
yeah.
So she's probably thinking she's in charge, and then remembered, oh wait, I'm not in charge.
Well, good job remembering what her position is right now. That one driven to left, but foul. No balls and a strike on Medina, who remains in the game. So she moves over and becomes the DP.
Well, they call it the OP, but yes, the offensive player. But you're right. Let's not complicate it.
I find that's a good general rule with me. Snap, throw down to first, and
nice little change up there.
Able to get back. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, the off-speed stuff has been terribly effective, and that's pretty much what you would expect when you start with very good velocity, and that appears to be something that Hewen brings to the table.
She's definitely thrown over 60 miles an hour.
Just outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
And then she comes in with a nice little 45-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. 5-3, San Mateo after 5 innings.
Check swing right back this way. Ball and 2 strikes on Medina.
That was just Medina getting rid of it. She didn't like it. Get rid of it, look for another pitch. More pitches she sees, the better off she is.
Into the wide, here's the pitch. Just low.
The infielders are playing it like it's a slow pitch game.
Meaning that they're well back? Or?
Way behind third base, way behind, for like 10 feet behind the base. Bases, both at first and third, and the shortstop's on the grass line.
Soft line drive, could be trouble. It drops in for a base hit. So 2 on, 2 out. Nice job by Medina, battling with 2 strikes. And deposits one into right.
Third base on that. It's big too.
So Delosier with a good speed does make it all the way to third, and that'll bring up Slate. 2 down, runners at the corners. And Hewen in a bit of a jam, and judging by the numbers, this probably hasn't happened too often on the season, but she's got a couple of runners on now.
Right. That's what the walks will do to you.
Yeah, lost Delosier to start the inning.
Yeah, that's the killer right there.
First pitch to Slate, back to the screen, and Medina will take second, but Delosier has to remain at third base. So second and third, and a ball with no strikes to count on Slate.
Delosier just got a bad jump straight up, and as a leadoff hitter in that position with 2 outs, we go on that.
Well, I know it was not high and inside as that one's over, but how comfortable are you right now if you're Hannah Slate when a ball goes back to the screen over the leaping catcher?
I don't know.
I think it's, you know.
Yeah, I think that it happens all the time, so it's not that big of a...
Swing and a miss. Well, it's not that I would want to imply that there isn't a measure of toughness to this, but it's 60 miles, not 100 miles, so you got that going for you at least, that it's not,
right.
You know.
But one of the things I say a million times when I have a runner on third is with 2 outs, hey, 2 outs, fastball, wild pitch, go for it.
Swing and a miss. Hewen goes to the rise ball and gets the strikeout on Slate to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Palomar with the 5-0 lead in the 3C2A Softball Championships Day 2 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It'll be Garcia to lead things off. Actually, I'm lost. It's Jillian Zamora. Okay. I thought my score sheet got really off here. Zamora will lead things off.
Yeah, you can't listen to the announcer. We gotta just...
another well-known rule of SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jillian Zamora, and then the top of the order, Kiana Villanueva.
Well-known.
And Sarah Fisher. And due up against Holly Brennan. The left-hander works into her 2nd inning.
And we got the 9-1-2. Oh, they're falling asleep at the wheel, and they have the music
Yeah, they got the music still going.
And that is not supposed to be happening.
Hey, give us credit. We took the music down here on SoCal College Sports.
Yes, we did. Bob Harris from the CCCAA went in there and said, hey, game on, guys.
The line in the first pitch to Zamora popped up and drops in for a base hit. Now squirts away from Vallejos in left field, and Zamora alertly into second base.
I actually think they're going to give that a double. But
A little bit of spin on that ball for
as
Jillian.
the outfielder, when the lefty hits it, slaps it that way, it always has that trajectory. When it bounces, it will go straight left turn.
Yep.
And so you got to have your left fielder overrun that to get in the way of that. It's like crazy how much it turns left because that spin you're talking about.
Yep.
And you have to overplay it. You can't be straight up with it. You have to be on the edge of it so
Yeah,
it
that
won't
was
get by you.
some Major League English on that ball. It squirted to the left and
Yeah.
really gave Vallejos a lot of trouble.
Again, not routine and ordinary. I'd give it a double, but you have to know
Back
that.
through the box, a base hit for Villanueva. Zamora going to hold up at third.
Oh,
But it
she's-
gets back to the screen as it squirts away from Whipkey, and now Zamora will come home and score. So that should go down as a base hit and an error, and it will. So Villanueva gets the base hit, and then the error on Whipkey as that ball just slides away from her, and that brings home Zamora with her second run of the day. And now it's 6-0, and Palomar closes in on a possible 8-run rule here in the bottom of the sixth.
That's just frustrating there for Whipkey. It's so hard. You know, you work so hard for games like that, and you can't let that go by you.
Yeah.
You don't have to catch it. It's not. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to tag her. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to knock it down and keep it in front of you.
Well, it's starting to be the kind of game for Sierra where you just think, man, let's just try to get these out of our system and go back to work and just be like, all right, man, that was not the best game we've ever played, but let's just wipe the slate clean, and hopefully those are the miscues that we have for the weekend, and we can clean it up from
and they
here.
really
'cause
should have
it's-
scored a run last inning. They didn't give an error to the second baseman. They should have. I mean,
Yeah, up to 5 errors,
yeah.
you know, on
and
them in this
I
game.
give not scoring that run an error too. I mean, it's a different kind of error.
Yep.
But I give it an error.
So Villanueva did end up at second, and Fisher at the plate. She's 2 for 2, a double and a single, and had a sacrifice flyer last time up.
She's not a bad hitter.
Yeah,
She's all right.
just 4 for 4 on the weekend so far.
Isn't it 5? I thought she was 3 for 3 yesterday.
I thought it was 2 for 2 with a walk.
Oh, you could be right because they only played 5 innings.
Yeah, 2 for 2 with a walk,
So she's 4
Yesterday.
for 4 with
a walk and
a
a
walk and a
sacrifice.
sac fly and an RBI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a run scored, 3 runs batted in,
yeah, not bad.
and the average that we think
Not that we're on the all tournament team or
it's very close to
selection
600.
committee or anything. But
Very close to 600.
let's be real.
Well, I think this is one where we're going to get it right. I'll be surprised.
No, it's not us getting it right. I think it's
Them getting it right.
Right,
Yeah.
yes. We already have it right. I like to think that anyway.
Right, 2 balls and a strike. Yeah. So
Keep-
them finally listening to us.
Finally.
You know, here's the 2-1 in on the hands, and that one over to second base, and Delosier trying to hurry. Fisher really getting down the line. The throw gets away, and this will go down as an error. I don't know if it's a single and an error, but probably just an error, I think, on Delosier. And now it's really just starting to unravel for Sierra, one of the very best teams in the entire 3C2A, and it's really turned into a house of horrors here in
Wheels
this
are
one.
falling off the wagon here.
And that's another one of those tricky balls. Came out with a lot of spin on it, but Delosier just couldn't seem to get the grasp on it. And then you got Fisher getting down the line.
And that's the first time Fisher doesn't get a hit, and it
Yep.
goes against her bat on that play right there, of all things. I would give it an E4.
Yeah, I think that's it's. They've
because
definitely
it's
put
a
down an error.
bobble. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. She bobbles it first.
Yeah.
That's what makes the play close, and then the
And
throw is
but
wide.
the first baseman should have caught it,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But the bobble is what kind of messed up the whole play. So that's the way I score it at home. Not that it matters again.
Now the potential game winner is at second. Still nobody out. And
That's
if you're Palomar,
exactly
if you
what Coach Brownell went out there to tell her team. She can't score, and so now the outfielders need to come in. Like
Yeah,
they-
and if
they
you're
need-
Palomar with nobody out, you think about playing for 1 run here. If you move a runner
Yes,
over or something
you
like that,
do.
you know.
And I'll tell you, coaches hate that. I never do because that's the game. You know, you don't want to not do that and then let them come back and beat you somehow.
A crazy comeback happens, and absolutely you gotta. First pitch to Garcia is low. Well, it's been a strange inning for Holly Brennan in the circle. Zamora pops one into a perfect spot down the third base line, ends up at second, then an error allows a run, and then another error on kind of a cue ball off the end of the bat, of Fisher. And
an error allows another error, is that what you said?
It just an inning that unfortunately for Sierra and their fans and followers has been all too typical in this one.
Yeah, this is definitely a
tall order,
outing.
but they've hurt themselves as much as anything as well. A ball and 2 strikes.
Well, there's the sun again. A little bipolar out here today.
Well, you think in a long event like this, too, if you're Sierra, maybe there's a little bit of a silver lining in this one. If they get Palomar again, they can tell themselves, well, we played so badly in this one that
it's
like we can
be worse.
Yeah, it's like we can beat these guys. There's no reason to think we can't. If we don't give them 6 errors, you know, we're gonna be in a lot better
it's
shape.
It's a totally different ballgame.
So
if we don't give them 6 errors, it's like
maybe they can
right
walk away from this with a measure of confidence still intact. Terrific play at third by Slade, but more trouble on the throw.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, Slade makes a nice play there, and then just trouble on the throw.
Actually, I
think
that
might have been Cummings with difficulty.
I would have given it to Cummings.
3 straight errors, meanwhile, for Sierra, and they are up to a jaw-dropping 7 in the game now. And now, perhaps mercifully for everybody, if Palomar can get one more ball to the outfield, you would think it's going to be over. It's second and third.
Right, and the outfielders need to come in. Because if she catches the ball, she's still going to score. So that left fielder needs to come way in.
Bryn Miller at the plate. High chopper on the infield. Brennan goes to first to get the out, and everybody stays where they are.
That was a nice play by Miller. Or by
Brennan. Kind of over the shoulder there and delivers a strike to first base. And that's been more of a challenge in this inning for Sierra than you would suspect ordinarily. So 1 down.
And they still need to come in. Remember, if it's hit back there and you catch it.
Yeah, they're in the infield, but they're staying back in the outfield.
The outfield needs to be in because it won't matter. But
first pitch to Delorier. Pignon waits on deck.
It's driving me crazy over here.
Well, it's hard to believe that they're all missing the sign, so this is obviously how they want to play it.
I mean, I don't know why they're not looking at me.
1 ball and 1 strike, or 2 balls and no strikes, I should say, the count on Delorier, who's 1 for 3. A home run in the first, helping to give the Comets the 4-0 lead. It's now 7-0. 2-0 from Brennan. Outside.
3-0.
We'll be back at 4:30 for our first of 2 games tonight. That will be El Camino College taking on Cypress in an all-South matchup. Go check the score here, even though I know you have that on your watch, Coach.
San Mateo, 5-3.
Top of the 7th, 5-3 is Delorier.
No, they won. It's final.
Oh, it is a final. Okay. You are ahead of the 3C2A scoreboard webpage.
Of course I am.
Nobody's surprised by that one. So San Mateo, it is official then.
Yes.
At least according to the watch.
According to Coach Runyon, the retired Ohlone coach.
According to the Apple Watch.
No, not the Apple Watch. I got in trouble for that last time. The watch has informed us.
5-3 San Mateo, so the Bulldogs stay alive, and they will take on, one would have to suspect, Sierra College in Game 4 tonight. Palomar leading this one 7-0.
Shocking.
Yeah, barring one of the all-time miracles.
Yeah,
one would have
I
to
would
believe
love to be here calling it with you. That would be great.
It's going to be Sierra in that one, sent foul. A ball and a strike now on Pignon, trying to just get this one in play, and that should pretty well do it.
Yeah. Well, the infield's in, the outfield, left fielder's in, center fielder's
Yeah,
still.
now Vallejos has crept in and is playing
Well,
in.
that's
But
because it's a lefty. She's
still.
playing her as if she's the batter. Like, you should be playing her.
But
for the
Tashi
runners.
and Anderson still
Way too
playing
deep.
back. Center and right, base hit, and Palomar with their second consecutive 8-run victory. They win this one 8-0, and they advance to day 3, where they will meet Mount San Antonio College for an opportunity to really put a stranglehold here on the 3C2A Softball Championship in 2018. That's going to be a big game. But we're just getting started. We're through 4. We've got 2 more to go here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Palomar with the 8-0 victory here. We will return at 4:30, a little bit ahead of that, in reality, with El Camino and Cypress, and have that game for you. Maggie White, thanks so much again.
Thanks for having me.
For joining us. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed having you, and we look forward to talking with you more.
Yes.
As we move forward. So for everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you at 4:30.